FM Salem, streaming live online at WRKE.org and on the TuneIn app. Just search for WRKE. Now on to the LP.M Music Showcase with me, Nico. And today I have something that is pretty special playing. I know last time I said that I would be playing John Coltrane, but unfortunately my phone wasn't strong enough to play back, audio for the speakers here at WRKE. So I was thinking maybe I'll visit that, or maybe I'll do another jazz record. And the jazz record that I'm covering today, it came out last year. It is by a man by the name of Curren DeVico, who is a very close friend of mine. Very talented musician, very excellent musician. And he released his album called If Only. And I want to let it speak for itself, so I will be playing the first song from the album, which is the title track. And here it is. Now we're getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves. So, a little behind the scenes action. There is supposed to be some sort of a, something that we're supposed to look at of any events that are happening on campus, though there is nothing here. So I'm assuming that there is nothing on campus going on, but this is the first broadcast for me for April. And as we all know, April is rainy season, so it's probably going to rain a lot. And then when it gets to next month, it's going to be mostly sunny. So I think that's that sort of compensation of rain and everything that California doesn't have. I'm just kidding. I like California. Kind of kidding. But anyway, that was Curren DeVico's If Only. And if it wasn't already obvious, Curren is a bassist. I don't know how long he's been playing, but I have seen him play, and he's great. He's really great. I don't know where to start with this, but yeah, Curren is a great musician because I'll admit I was very ignorant on music before, and I think it was through Curren. Curren was one of the first people that really showed me just what you could do with a bass. And then I was thinking to myself, oh, you can do that? That's amazing. So then it was through Curren that I decided to look up other bassists who I will probably play later if I have time, but one of them is Victor Wooten, who Curren is also a fan of. So you'll see a lot of different techniques that he's using here, and you'll notice that it's very some aspects of this album are very avant-garde, very I don't want to say mood setting, or I guess mood setting in that it's sort of like a wall of sound that's being made from actually I don't know how he made most of the sounds. It's I probably should have asked him, but it's too late. So anyway, I just want to give credit to where credit's due. So obviously Curren is at the forefront and the main writer for all of these songs. And then also accompanying him are some other people like Alex. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name, Alex, but Alex Chicochi, I think it's pronounced. I've met him before. He's a very nice guy. He was the sound engineer, and he also did percussion like tempo blocks and cymbals, which I'll point out later. And Jeet, who is on drums throughout this whole album, also met him. Great guy. Alex Glass is on the synthesizers, and Jack Santoro is on the guitar for track 7. So I'll get into it right now. This is Pocket Dimensions, which is a favorite from this album from a lot of people. I haven't really discussed the album with Curren that much since it came out, even though I've met with him a fair amount of times after it came out. So I don't know. I probably should have asked some questions, but it's too late. So anyway, this is the second track on the album. This is Pocket Dimensions. Ah, Curren's so cool. I wish he was real. Anyway, so yeah, that was Pocket Dimensions, and you can see, if you can see and look into the production of how the song was made, and just all the little effects that they had, like around the I think it was Alex Glass during that synthesizer solo within Pocket Dimensions, and how near the end when he was using what I believe to be the the tremolo pad on the synthesizer, going back and forth between it, and then just the and just how the sound gradually starts to become more muffled, and it starts to become more muffled and starts to become less, I guess, not less concise, but less focused and more out of body is, I guess, what I'm saying. Like, it sounds like it starts to get more in the corner. It's also reverbing back and forth, and you can hear that along with Curren's bass during a few solos there as well. Also, yeah, appreciate you as well, Jeet, for your drums on the album and throughout the track. That was a great performance. So, as I mentioned before, If Only is also pretty avant-garde as well. What I believe to be avant-garde, but you can hear that there are some voices in here, and you'll hear that it sounds as if the thing is with avant-garde, it's meant to create a sort of atmosphere with it. So if you listen to this and just pay attention to all the different sounds that are coming within the left channel and right channel, and just seeing where the path goes and where things and how like each piece sort of flows into each other. So here it is. This is Melting Point. beautiful. I just want to say I want to point out and give compliments to Alex for his production on this, and everybody else who contributed to what was making of the sound. I know Curren had a huge part in this. Just setting up the atmosphere in the back. There's a bunch of stuff I could pick and try to look at, like the beginning, in which there's this very fast-paced production while a bunch is going on in the background, and you'll notice that a lot of the sounds sound very ominous, and you'll see at one point there's like a sound of a church, what sounds like a bell. I'm pretty sure that's Curren doing harmonics on the bass. I'm pretty sure that's it, right? Because you'll see harmonics are basically where you hold on to where you hold a finger onto the fret to make what sounds like a ringing noise, and you can also make false harmonics by holding your finger down on another fret and then putting it right in the center and then doing that. So I'm pretty sure he was doing false harmonics there, which led to that sound. There was a bunch of stuff that I really wanted to pick off and look at, but one thing I wanted to compliment and say was just how in your ear Melting Point was, because I know with a lot of avant-garde and other tracks, it sort of seems like it's in the background giving you room to breathe, but you'll see that when Curren is picking, because I'm pretty sure that he's that plucking sound is him poking down at the tip of the pickup of the bass and just pushing down on it and going back and forth. And you'll hear that too when you'll hear like a rubbing sound and a rough squeaking sound that sounds like a zipper. I'm pretty sure that's also Curren pushing on the strings of the bass, right up near the neck, up by the again the pickups. So yeah, that was a great track. I do really like that track. That's probably one of my favorites on this, just because of how in your ear it is. Again, other avant-garde songs tend to be very careful and just try to envelop you, but this one it feels like there's a mixture of both, in that there's the background just enveloping over you, and then what's the main aspects of each individual part of the song are just pushing into your ear. That's so great. I wish more people would do that. I wish Curren was real. I don't know if Curren is listening to this. Hi, Curren. Anyway, the next song is called Afterglow, which is another great one. So that was Afterglow leading into Introspect, which I forgot to mention. But Afterglow has a, oh, excuse me. I could be putting words into the mouth of the genre. I'm sorry if I get it wrong, but I believe that it is it's meant to sound very Latin and bossa nova-esque, right? That's kind of what it sounded like to me. And it was very cool to see how it was very, it was just keeping this very steady flow, and then suddenly it leads to this climax near the end in which it starts to pick up speed, and then suddenly when it leads to Introspect, it's very quiet, and it's very quiet, and it's very just sort of letting it rest. I guess if he releases this on vinyl, you could say that that's the end of side A leading into side B. But anyway, some production techniques. I really appreciate how near the end you can hear how Jeet's drums are in the background, just sort of. It's like what I mentioned before in that sort of avant-garde or what's the word? It wasn't avant-garde. It was I'll look it up, but I guess I can liken it to Frank Ocean's Blonde, in that there was a time in which during the ambience, that was it, ambience, very ambient. I can liken it to Frank Ocean's Blonde in that there are some points in which he's at the forefront and a lot of the instruments are they're sort of sectioned off in layers in which Frank's voice is by the front and the instruments would be like in the second and the drums would be layered in the back. Like if you look in the song Skyline 2, which Tyler the Creator made the drums for, Frank Ocean is singing and the drums are just playing in the background and adding to the ambience of the whole piece. And that's sort of like that in that Curren's bass is at the very forefront, while Jeet's drums are just in the back accompanying, leaving this sort of what is going on? Just leading this sort of ominous sort of sounding back thumping. I also wanted to liken and mention how in Melting Point there would like the beginning, how with the steady drum beat and then everything going on, it sort of likens to, I don't know, like I don't like comparing, but it's just this is what I can only I don't like comparing because it just for reasons of maybe it seems like I don't know something I can't explain, but I sort of liken it to Talking Heads Remain in Light in that the percussions and everything are set in the background and the people are free to do whatever to toy and play around with what works with the beat and what doesn't. So moving on, this is side B, just kidding. This is Musings of a Space Cadet, which is probably my favorite on the record. It was one of my favorite songs of 2021. I really do enjoy it. It's probably up there with Melting Point and Pocket Dimensions. So here it is. This is Musings of a Space Cadet. Very helpful. What a great melody. That's such a great melody, Curren. So the artwork for that was made by Chris Grant, who I believe I met. I know of a Chris. I don't know if the same Chris that I'm thinking of is that same Chris, the one who would always tell me to go bowling like Nico Bellic from GTA 4, the video game. Yeah. Anyway, I think he did the artwork for this. It's great artwork. It's a complimentary sort of thing in which everything is yellow, but the astronaut at the end is blue and purple. So that was that was one of my favorite songs of 2021 and one of my favorites on this album. Beautiful melody, great playoff between the two. Just everybody's in the pocket here. And then the ending is great too. That diversification of expectations. Great. So it leads into the next song called "Play It Cool," which has Jack Santoro on. It has Jack Santoro on guitar, so you'll see that it has a very different tone compared to the rest of the album. So here it is. Radical. Okay. Jack Santora was great on that track. And it's sort of like a culmination of everything, because moving on, there's Moving Forward, which has Curren play on the clarinet as well. I almost said clavinet. He plays on the clarinet here as well, and he makes another great melody here. So this is worth checking out. And that's how it ends the album. I'm still gonna keep talking, but I just wanted to play this. So here it is. This is the final track on the album, Moving Forward. In the end, everything came back full circle. A lot of what you heard in that, the backing instruments and the backing instruments and that ambient noise in the beginning that was there in the intro for If Only, it all came back. Can you believe it? It was right there in front of us the whole time. And that again, that same thing with the repeating pattern, and then everything's going on in the background, how it's all in your ear. It's great. I don't know if he meant to do that intentionally, but there is a semblance of, yes, he meant to do that intentionally. I don't know if he's listening to this, but hi, Curren. I don't know any input on this, other than it's a great record. And again, if you want to check it out, this is Curren DeVico, Curren space DEVICO for If Only. This is his first record. And pretty soon he's going to come out with a second one, though I don't know when. He's working on it, and I'm also working on it too. So, first of all, go check him out. He's great. And hopefully I'll see him again when I come back to my hometown in May. The funny place where speed bumps were invented. I'm not giving you where I live or what town I live in, but if you look up where speed bumps are invented, then maybe you'll find a clue. Or maybe it'll lead you to a place like Wisconsin. And if something happens where I get famous enough and you try to dox me, and you'll be like, oh, he's in Wisconsin, and then you go there and then you suffocate from the amount of cheese. This is going in a weird turn. So anyway, yeah, that was Curren DeVico's If Only. Again, just check it out, Curren space DEVICO. And he'll have more music on the way. And for this episode, I don't know. Again, I might play something else. I think I have 3 weeks left for WRKE. So I want to cover as much as possible. I may just end it by, maybe I'll end it there and that's a good stopping point. And I'll just play whatever I want for the next 3 weeks. Because I've been listening to a bunch of people that I want to cover, but just never had the chance to, like Mac Miller, Frank Ocean, Tyler, the Creator, and recently Jeff Buckley, which Curren actually showed me. And I really like Jeff Buckley's music. And I also went into his father, Tim Buckley, who's also a great songwriter in his own right. But yeah, until then, I'll just think of what to cover. You're gonna see a lot from artists like that we've already covered, like Ginger Root, Billy Joel. I'm also gonna play some Elton John. I'm gonna play some more Fleetwood Mac, more city pop, more Yellow Magic Orchestra because they're great. They're always great. Wow, doing a show is hard. Last time when I spoke about everything, I didn't know if I would last the whole hour. I tried to talk about as much as I could, but you know, when you play music for the majority of your program, it goes through quickly. But when you find yourself talking, you'll notice that your voice starts to run out because you haven't trained it to speak that much within a certain period, or speak that long in a certain period, excuse me. And also, I'll try to be more careful with my voice. Maybe I should have stretched or like sang or something. But yeah, when I'm done here, when I'm done with WRKE, I'll still be doing stuff. I make videos on YouTube, and I'm also working on music. I'm working on my first album. A huge majority of it is done. I actually had a lot of songs in the backlog for my first album, but I decided to scrap it and redo it and try to make songs that really haven't been heard, or at least push me in a way out of my comfort zone in terms of composing. So I'm going to be incorporating a lot of different songs. I'm taking influence from everything under the sun, De Pa Pepe, the Japanese guitar band, which I love, the Beatles, Queen, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Yellow Magic Orchestra, Ginger Root, and just trying to do all these unorthodox things to try to stand out and just do things that I'll be happy when I listen to. Because, you know, recordings last forever, so you want to make the most of that session or of that piece of music. But anyway, yeah, maybe next time I'll just do, for the time that I'm here, I'll just do a lightning round of stuff. So that'll be starting next week. Thank you for watching, and Curren, great album if you were watching as well. So anyway, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next week. Bye-bye.